arrived in Corfu. We're waiting for our apartment to be ready. We're just like taking a walk here on a side street. First impression for me, well, since I go down to Sicily often, obviously like it's different but not that much. I guess even because Corfu has a lot of the Italian influence, Venetian, Turkish. So for something actually looks more like India when we were in India. So far I found it dirtier than Sicily for some things. But I guess it's still like April, maybe it's not still, polished and shiny for the summer. I don't know. Obviously, the Greeks are really similar to the Italians, so for us, I'm Italian and we spend a lot of time in really, it's not super much different. In fact, they say like one feast, one race for the Italians and the Greeks, but yeah, for me it was the first time in Greece, but so far it's okay. Got a little problem finding the apartment because like a lot of streets don't have any name on it, but this one is like looks like a tango academy. Epic. Another building here. Another supermarket. Greece flag. Yeah, one thing I have to say different, like something different compared to Italy, for example. I've seen a lot of like Greek flags. In Italy you don't see many flags. I think probably like the least nationalistic people in the world. Like here, I guess they're more proud of their Greek heritage than we are of our Italian, I don't know. Sometimes. Next, another supermarket. Yeah, we like made the beginner's mistake of just stopping at the first supermarket. This is a nice square. Okay, folks, this is an apartment that you can expect if you visit Corfu in Greece. So this is this super tiny bathroom. You have one of those showers that when you take the shower you pretty much flood the entire bathroom. That's okay. Sink, super tiny, 2 burners, fridge. I think this one is the washing machine or the washing machines. Bed, super small table, nice painting, TV, and then we have a super small balcony here, which is nice anyhow to have a balcony. And then this is what we can see from the back of our apartment. Super old building, probably this one from the 60s or 70s. And then there's this kind of inner courtyard, looks abandoned. This one looks like a pretty rundown school where there were kids before playing. That's like the backdrop, and the port, it's in that direction, we came from that way. That's about it.
Okay, so we are in Corfu now. We've got checked into the B&B, which is less than we had hoped for, but it is what it is for the next couple days, and we're just taking a tour of the old port and then the old town, which you can see behind me is the old port. This structure here, I'm not exactly sure what it is. We haven't really studied any of the history of Corfu yet, but you can see that there's a huge structure. Maybe it was some fortification at one time. So far from what I can see, there's no explanation anywhere explaining what this is, but it seems definitely maybe it was the old castle, or maybe it was just a fortress, as you can see here. And then this is It's all part of the old port though, so I imagine it was quite possibly a structure that they had used for like checking boats that were coming in, or you can see the an old port here, and this looks something to what may have been similar in like Middle Ages kind of.
You see, that's like the winged lion. I think it was one of the emblems of the Republic of Venice, and Corfu was like under Venetian rules for centuries. So I think a lot of like buildings, architectures, and the vibe in general has a lot to do with, you know, Italy, and also like Turkey, because it was also under like Ottoman rules for a lot.
Oh yeah.
And during the centuries, pretty much like the Venetians, the Turks, and also the Genoans from Genoa, they were like pretty much fighting for the control of all the isles, pretty much in Greece, in Turkey, and the Mediterranean in general. And I think Corfu especially was like ruled by the Venetians and the Turks for a lot. So it's definitely Italian and Turk vibe here, maybe more than other part of Greece, when you can see, you know, the typical blue and white houses and buildings. Here it seems like more, I mean, this one could be also like either an Italian or Turkish seaside town. So
In fact, it looks a lot like the Italian houses.
Which makes it interesting. Okay folks, we are in Corfu, Old Town, here in Greece. First week of April. It's pretty quiet. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. Not many people around. It's like a beautiful day. It's like sunny, not too cold. Yesterday was colder. Decent sized Jewish community back in the days. And the center is obviously for those who like history. Corfu was in the hands of the Venetians, then the Turks and Genoans, and then the Greeks. Always tried obviously to get it back. So I think there's a strong Italian and Turkish influence. And it's always interesting, especially for people like us who like to, you know, study energy, go into different places and see the vibe. First impression obviously is, you know, typical Mediterranean seaside town. I mean, it could be, you know, you could be dropped here, and without reading anything in Greek, you could be anywhere in the southern Mediterranean. You could be in Italy, Spain.
This could be Italy.
Yeah, it could be Italy, it could be Spain, it could be Greece, obviously it could be Turkey also. So, but you can really feel the Mediterranean here, like all southern Europe, and especially for people like us who like, you know, obviously the Mediterranean history is always interesting, you know, to walk, you know, on the same places where people used to walk like centuries ago, and imagine their lives, what they did, what they thought. So it's always interesting. Yeah, another thing that we saw coming here, what we read, there's a pretty huge problem with stray dogs here in Greece. And even when we got to Ayumenica on the ferry, we already saw like 4 or 5, like in half a mile. So they're pretty common around here. So I think this guy here is one of those, but I don't know. Could also be like, you know, coffee shop owner's dog, who knows. But yeah. They're generally quiet and they mind their own business, especially in areas like these when they're used to a lot of people. Maybe out in the countryside is a different story. always like a local culture that can be different from the one on the mainland, or with a spin on it or a different edge. And Corfu here is interesting because through the centuries, the Venetians and the Ottomans, the Turks especially, were always fighting for the control of it. Well, obviously the Greeks wanted it back. Even a lot of buildings, you can have like an Italian feel to them. As you can see from here, this could be anywhere like in Italy, on the coast, or I believe in anywhere, even like in southern Turkey. And if you look at the map, like Corfu looks almost like flipped Italy. It's like flipped to the other side. If you flip Italy to the other side, towards the left, it almost looks like Italy, doesn't it?